All right, let's see. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully this is working right off the ribbity-bo-bibbity. Because I'm stupid. I'm like a monkey with no thumbs. It says excellent connection, which is making me believe that things are working. Oh! Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs. How are you? Welcome to the Valenti broadcast. I'm your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti. Ahoy. Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. Start a poll. Have you liked and subscribed yet? Yes or no, I want to bomb Iran. There we go. Those are your choices. Those are your options. Choose carefully. There will be consequences. Thinking about leaving the U.S., where should I go? I don't know. Luigi, can you cut this shit? It's fucking, it's like clockwork. It's as soon as I start the fucking shit. It's as soon as I start the fucking shit. Luigi, do hai rush. Likiri. Oh my god.
Chris, would you ever consider doing a video on, like, deep dive explanations of socialism, racism, etc., and etc.?
I absolutely could do that. That's a very smart idea, and that's why we have the Rabbit Hole series, where we do deep dives into rabbit holes throughout history. And this Saturday's Rabbit Hole is going to be all about how Iran has been 2 weeks from getting a nuke since 1986. How could that be possible? It's been longer than 2 weeks since 1986. Surely it's been. It must have been longer than 2 weeks since the year 1986, right? That's what I would assume. Hi, Chris. I just came back from my walk. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So we got plenty of news to cover. Trump came out and goes, and this is deeper. This is deeper than you think. Trump comes out and he goes, I'm going to make a decision in no more than 2 weeks. We're going to give Iran 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Before he makes a decision on whether to bomb the fuck out of them. Now, here's the thing. Israel, right? Benjamin Netanyahu, he said that Iran's got 2 to 3 days until they've got a nuclear weapon, right? And he said that they're not waiting 2 weeks. Netanyahu said, we're not waiting 2 weeks. And now, on Fox News, we have Fox News hosts, and Donald Trump is watching this, saying there are only 3 options. 1, American boots on the ground invasion of Iran. 2, we bomb Iran with our 30,000-pound bunker busters. Or 3, Israel doesn't wait for us and they use a tactical nuke on Fordo. This is what your crazy uncle on Fox News is consuming, okay? This is what he's watching. It's the craziest shit ever. I can't fucking believe this shit. What the fuck is this?
This is a main...
This can't be true. Wait a minute. Israel bombs the Supreme Leader's bunker. This cannot possibly be true. Israel bombs the Supreme Leader's bunker.
Going to stop enriching uranium.
What?
This is the sticking point. This is why we're at an impasse. Initially, Americans were open to the idea of Iran reducing its uranium enrichment levels from 60%, where it's at
oh
now,
my
to
God,
3.67%, which
is
was
this
agreed
real?
upon in that 2015 nuclear deal. That figure of 3.67% was agreeable to everybody: the International Atomic Energy Agency, European countries.
Oh shit! Yo, wait a minute. Yo, what the fuck? Hold on, I gotta change the title of the video. What the fuck are we talking about? Did they just kill the Ayatollah? Hold on, I gotta text my people. What are we talking about? Developing story from who? What? This can't be real. What? What the fuck is this? A powerful Israeli airstrike hit the Lavazan district in northeastern Tehran tonight, with eyewitness reporting the use of bunker-busting munitions and smoke rising from the area. According to opposition sources inside Iran, the Lavazan area is believed to house secure Revolutionary Guard facilities and possibly the hiding place of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Developing story. Oh, God, he knows he's in there. Fuck, wait, that groan sounds like somebody who knows who's in there. Can we watch that again? Oh, Jesus, wait a minute. That sounds like a fella who knows the Ayatollah's in there, right? Am I right? Oh! What are we even talking about?
States at that time.
I need someone to cover this.
Began. More than 90% of them were civilians.
I need someone to cover this.
Reports on life under bombardment.
There's panic in the heart of Tehran, and no indication of when the next airstrike will come. In the middle of the night, a father searches for his daughter in their destroyed apartment. Not far away, emergency crews pull out bodies from the rubble. In the daytime, the sky offers no answers, only more airstrikes with no particular pattern. People here have not seen attacks like this since the war with Iraq in the 1980s. Israel says it's
I gotta find some reporting on this. Maybe who do you think would have it? The AP News, right? Associated Press would have that, or I don't know. Live updates. Israel, Iran. Fuck off. Israel threatens Iran's supreme leader. Yeah. What about, all right, CNN breaking? Does CNN have live updates? I'm going to check Al Jazeera too. They don't have it. Let's check Al. Brother, either this is bullshit or it like just fucking happened, like literally just happened. Fake news? I wouldn't be so fucking sure, brother. I would not be so sure. I gotta change the name of this stream because that could be crazy. Edit. What should I say? Israel might have killed the Ayatollah. How the fuck do you spell Ayatollah? I-A-Y-A-T-O-L-L-A-H. Did I get it right? Nice. Look at global war news map. The fuck is that? That's going to be a map. Fuck is that going to be? Give me Iran. It is links to the news. Chris, check phone. Is this what you want? You didn't send me shit, pussy. Don't ever lie to me. Don't you ever lie to me. You sent me nothing, you son of a bitch. You're a lying piece of shit and I hate you. I know you're bad with computer, but I sent you a link. You didn't. I got nothing. Lying son of a bitch. Lying son of a bitch. I got nothing from you.
President Donald Trump will decide whether the U.S. will get involved in the Israel-Iran conflict in the next 2 weeks. The White House press secretary says Trump still holds out hope for talks with Iran. Trump has said he may or may not join Israeli strikes on Iran and has repeatedly...
Dude, I love how Trump's like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. I don't know. He's such a fucking psychopath, dude. He's a psychopath.
Threat to Israel.
Israeli strike inside Iran and penetrate deep enough to destroy certain hidden Iranian nuclear infrastructure if that is what President Trump decides to do. He is also out in the open hinting at other kinds of military assistance the U.S. could offer.
We have planes that are undetectable, flying around like, you know, nobody's able to see them stealth. Israel has incredible weaponry. So we'll see what happens. I've been asked about it by everybody, but I haven't made a decision.
With each successful Israeli strike inside Iran, the Iranians have less leverage to negotiate. They've also shown no willingness yet to abandon their nuclear weapons program, and Iranian offers to send negotiators to the White House for talks next week are probably Impossible, because the negotiators are holed up and can't just go to the airport in Tehran to fly to D.C.
Yeah, I mean, they asked if they could come. We'll see if that happens. It's not that easy for them to come. They can't get out. You know, they're in Iran, and in one case, the guy wanted to come so badly, but he can't get out because there's bombs dropping all over the place.
We are.
Yeah. What the fuck are we even saying right now, bro? I don't believe for a second. The only fucking people who want to come to America from Iran, they're not coming to negotiate. They're coming to survive, bro. They want to survive, my guy. Dude, he's so disconnected. Holy shit.
We are about 90 minutes away from President Trump's next latest intelligence briefing. That's going to be in the Situation Room on the lower level of the West Wing, away from cameras. Dana.
All right, Peter Ducey, thank you so much. For more on this is Barry Weiss. She's the editor of the Free Press, and it's an honor to have you today. I know you're at the Free Press doing a ton of work, and we're following it all. Here's a billboard that is up in Tel Aviv right now. It's asking, Mr. President, please finish the job.
Oh, my God.
That's in Tel Aviv. In America, this poll...
What do you mean, Mr. President, dog? You're Israeli. Dude, Israel is the 51st state of the United States of America. Like, dead-ass verbatim on God, on Jah, like, wallahi, brother. Wallahi. Thank you for the $1 donation,
polling from
Aaron.
Fox News out last night, I thought was pretty stunning, and it's probably changed even in the last few days. This is from June 13th to 16th. We're right now on the 19th today. 78% of Americans saying that they are concerned about Iran getting a
78% of Americans? Bullshit, motherfuckers. So how about 78% of, like, the 48 people who answer Fox News polls? I don't believe this shit at all.
nuclear bomb. That's way up. You know, it was 66% in April.
And if this is true, bro, that is just proof of Israeli Hasbro working it and doing its job.
Of 2025. So people have shifted.
By the
their
way,
opinion.
guys, we're getting reports like, dude, the Israeli attack on Iran was so much more complex than you think. The Israelis didn't just bomb them. It seems like over the past 2 years, the Israelis did what the Ukrainians did in Russia. The Israelis have sent in trucks with drones and embedded them all around Iran. They also had sleeper agents who were creating car bombs. And at the same time that the missiles started raining down 7 days ago on the opening strike, all of these drones that were in Iran were released. All of these car bombs started going off. It was like a fucking nightmare operation. It's insane.
Well, I think that they're hearing very, very clearly a message from the American president saying Iran cannot...
I did see that some Israeli rage quit
the regime,
interview,
but as the
right.
theocracy is now fighting for its own survival, its allies are missing in action. That's true for Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's true for Hamas in either the Gaza Strip or,
Brother, I
the
am
West
talking
Bank.
to you,
It's true.
Zans. What do you mean it feels like you're making eye contact with me? I am talking to you. You are all over there in the camera. That's the whole point. You're there, I'm here, so hi.
For Yemen and the Houthis. We just had an expert on who said the Iranians' best play should be to retreat to Oman and start talking to save their own lives and their regime. What is Iran's best play, do you think?
Well, I mean, the best play is Trump has laid it out. I want total surrender. Either surrender will come with the bombing or the destruction of Fordo, whether that's military commandos on the part of Israel or bombing from America, we don't yet know, or surrender. But he's saying ceasefire isn't enough, I want total surrender. The problem is one of the things that we have learned about the way this regime functions is that you can't trust anything they say. So they might very well go to Amman and say, total surrender, come and under American supervision or IAEA supervision, we will destroy Fordo. But where...
Brother, the IAEA had supervision over Fordo already. That's the whole point of the IAEA. You can't bomb
10 years
Fordo.
from now? Where are we going to be 15 years from now as they, raise up a new generation of nuclear scientists and create new facilities that are capable of doing this? What does this regime have, guys, if not for this ability?
Right.
What is it?
That's their leverage.
That's their leverage. That's the whole game for them. Khamenei is 86 years old. He is, do we really think that he's going to give this up? I mean, I think that's the question hanging over everything right now.
One thing I've been wanting to ask somebody like you is, if you think back to when President Trump took the action, and it was bold, to take out Soleimani, because a terrible actor evil person from Iran who had gone after Americans, had American blood on his hands.
Why are we talking about ISIS?
Iran did nothing in response, at least nothing spectacular. Obviously, they continued to fight against Israel. They continued to hurt Americans wherever they could find them, but it wasn't like a big spectacular response.
Dude, Fox
Do you
News
get the
is
sense,
nuts.
or based on all of your reporting, that how Israel has been able to degrade the capabilities inside Iran means that they're kind of on their last legs right now? Or do you think that they still have some in reserve with these missile barrages like the one that we saw at the hospital today?
I don't think.
I don't want to get involved either, but I've been saying for 20 years, maybe longer, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
The White House press secretary earlier was asked, what message does she have to Trump supporters who want the president to end U.S. involvement in foreign wars?
I watched this live.
Response.
I saw this shit live, bro.
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible
Trust in President Trump. Are you feeling afraid? No need for fear. Trust in President Trump. He has your best interests in heart. Trust in President Trump. What happened to Congress? What happened to checks and balances? What happened to democracy?
instincts, and President Trump kept
Zin.
America and the world safe.
I need a fucking Zin. I'm gonna go grab a Zin at Chini
in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda.
All right, our panel's back. CNN special correspondent Jamie Gangel also joining us. Jamie, wonderful to see you. I want to play a little bit of what some of Trump's supporters said to CNN over the course of the presidential campaign, because I have to say, when I traveled the country, when I went to campaign events, when I was at the convention, this is something you would hear about regularly, that voters would bring up kind of on their own. They would say, I think Trump is going to keep us out of World War III or similar. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
All this World War stuff that's going on, and, you know, I don't feel like we've been participating the way we should.
I'm interested in giving less money to foreign wars.
If Harris gets elected, we are going to go into World War III.
Trump is an anti-war president.
We need somebody who's going to stand up for the American people. Like, everybody focus on this war.
I mean, sort of, there you have it, right? And what do you make of that? Go ahead.
Lindsey Graham was none of those people.
No.
Look, I think that what we're going to see here, if Trump decides to move ahead, is that he thinks he can bring the base along with him.
He can't.
There's no question that's the way they feel. At the end of the day, I've spoken to several former Trump administration officials from Trump 1.0, people who watched him make difficult situations in high stakes moments like the Soleimani assassination. And what they say to me is, Donald Trump is risk averse. And yes, the last person who speaks to him, yeah, in his ear, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump trusts his own instincts. And what we should watch for is, does he think at the end of the day, this will make him a loser or a winner?
David Sanger, one of the things, one of the people that has been talked about as a central figure here is Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, right? Now, our reporting from our Katie Bo Lillis is that she basically has been exiled.
CNN is as bad as Fox? No, that's not exactly true. CNN and Fox are both terrible, but Fox News is quite literally a terrorist organization. I have Fox News up here saying that there's only two choices. The U.S. bombs Iran or Israel nukes Iran. Like, brother, unironically, I believe Fox News is a fucking terrorist propaganda channel. It's insane. The amount of damage that Fox News has done to people's brains over the past 50 years is fucking insane. Can we see that clip? Yeah, let me try to find it. Let me go to Fox. Fox News. Israel. I watched it earlier, and I don't know why it's not on my watch history. Israel's also beginning to choke, bro. Israel's running out of their interceptors, like the shit that they need to shoot down the Iranian missiles. So like, and Trump said, he's like, listen, I'm gonna give Iran 2 weeks, and Israel's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna give Iran 2 fucking days. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Israel takes action before we fucking come to a decision, you know? Go to Fox. Six hours ago. That might have been it. Let's see. I think around 6 hours ago is when I watched it.
I don't think anyone can
No.
say.
Okay.
You know, are they going to walk with a suitcase and a dirty bomb? Possible. I mean, we've seen what their proxies can do with hand gliders, bicycles, and, you know, on foot coming over the border into Israel. So I would never sit here, and I don't think anyone should ever sit here and underestimate the conniving capabilities of a regime that has genocidal intentions.
Like Israel? She's not talking about Israel right now, gang. She's talking about fucking Iran right now. You mean like Israel?
Am I shocked, as anyone is, by what Israel has managed to do over the past, I've lost track of time, is it 6 days? Of course I am. Guys, they managed to infiltrate on, like, with Mossad agents. They managed to, I'm sure you guys saw this, hack the official regime television station, showing women showing their hair, cutting off their hair, with a little symbol in the corner of a roaring lion, which of course is the name of this operation, Operation Rising Lion. So I'm astonished by what Israel has managed to pull off. I think the president is blown away by what Israel has managed to pull off. But, you know, it's Iran. And it has proxies all over the region, and we just don't know.
I think also the partisan lines seem to be dissolving, and we just pointed out the polling here in the United States. Democratic Senator John Fetterman is echoing that. He was with us 2 days ago and said this to reporters just yesterday. Okay, so what he's talking about here are the numbers and what they tell us right now about the American people. Roll this.
And also, I'd like to point out, like the polling has shown that I think it's about effectively 80% of Americans thinks that Iran should never acquire a nuclear weapon. So, like, this isn't shocking.
I fucking hate this guy, dude.
It's like, this is not warmongering. This is peacemongering. It's like, you know, like Iran can't ever allow a nuclear facility and a bomb. And so this is where we're at. I mean, that's not controversial. It definitely shouldn't be controversial for Democrats.
So, your president...
That is just such a bold-faced bullshit lie. And also, that's not the question at hand. The question is not whether Iran should be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. The question is whether Israel should be allowed to illegally bomb their nation. That is illegal, mind you. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think any goddamn nation should have nuclear weapons. This is Israel's hospital in Israel.
This is the Soroka Hospital in southern Israel. You could see behind me that building of the hospital was hit by a missile from Iran early Thursday morning. The top of the building is basically blown off, and you could still see smoke smoldering.
Khamenei died. No, Israel may have taken him out in this recent assassination attempt. There's no confirmation, but there is reports, unconfirmed reports, that he may have been taken out.
Of it hours later. This is a major hit from Iran in a major city on a big hospital, and one of the most significant hits since this conflict began nearly a week ago.
Yeah, there was an explosion at SpaceX. Yeah, if you guys want some good news, here you go.
Welcome back. In the Texas Gulf Coast, a SpaceX Starship exploded into
there we go. There's some good news.
Fireball, preparing for a test flight. The aerospace company said the rocket experienced a, quote, major anomaly. As of now, SpaceX says there are no hazards to residents and communities surrounding the site. The ship was expected to launch around the end of the month for its 9th test flight. Let's bring in CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood for more on the explosion. Bill, thank you for joining us today.
Well, there's at least some good news this week. SpaceX is definitely lying about the community not being in danger. Of fucking course they're lying, bro. It's Elon Musk, dog. Are you out of your fucking mind? One new update. Oh no. Australia suspends operations at its embassy in Tehran and tells officials to leave. Australia suspended. All right, so even Australia's telling everybody's getting their boys the fuck out of there. So this strike is absolutely coming. How was that good, Pastor Valenti? Dude, anytime Elon Musk fucks up, it's always good. Fuck Elon Musk. We want the public perception to turn from him. You gotta remember that. Elon Musk is your enemy. He's not your friend. I want that, no lip Levitt. No, the hospital? What do you mean? It's not good that they hit a hospital. I didn't say it was good that they hit a hospital.
Good afternoon, everyone. President Trump's powerful efforts to secure our homeland are working.
Shut your fucking slut mouth.
Border Patrol saw a 93% decrease.
You shut that cock holster while I find a better video to watch.
Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Kristen Welker in Washington, where the White House has just issued a new timeline for President Trump's decision on possible U.S. military strikes on Iran's nuclear program as Israel and Iran plunge deeper into armed conflict. After teasing the possibility of imminent action yesterday, the president delivered a statement to reporters today.
Yeah, that's the thing, Talia. I would call Caroline Levitt a cunt, but she genuinely lacks the warmth and the depth, so she ain't gonna get it.
Through his White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt. Take a listen.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
Can we talk about, like, how fucking bizarre, strange, and fucked up it is that we have to have this bitch tell us that instead of Trump saying it himself? Trump fucking sits on the toilet and posts on Truth Social, and he doesn't have the fucking audacity to come on camera and say, I'm gonna make a decision in 2 weeks. How about that? Okay. Yeah, dude, Israel saw 2 weeks and said, fuck that. And that's exactly what they were saying on Fox. They were like, dude, Israel's not even going to wait 3 days, you know? And that's the truth. Israel says that Iran is 2 days from having a fucking nuke, and you think that they're going to wait 2 weeks? Are you out of your fucking mind, bro?
Levitt also said correspondence between the U.S. and Iran has continued even as she insists
Bullshit. The fucking Iranian foreign minister was on here, and they asked him, they said, do you plan on continuing negotiations with the United States? And he said, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Brother, what? You can't say that. That's criminal.
Government believes Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon. But sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News that the U.S. intelligence assessment on Iran's nuclear program has not changed since Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard testified back in March that Tehran had not made a decision to rush towards building a bomb. The president has publicly clashed with Gabbard over that assessment, and senior administration officials now tell NBC News Gabbard appears to have fallen out of favor with the president. Meanwhile, the fighting on the ground continues to escalate, with Israel targeting an Iranian nuclear reactor overnight and Iran
illegal, by the way,
near a hospital complex in southern Israel early this morning.
Oh, no. Iran struck near a hospital complex. Now, here's the fucking thing, chat. Of course I don't like it when a hospital gets bombed. That's terrible. I don't like when any civilians get bombed. But allow me to retort with perhaps maybe the IDF was hiding underneath the hospital. Allow me to retort with perhaps if the IDF weren't using human shields, Iran wouldn't have to kill civilians. You see what I'm saying here? This is the exact same thing that the Israelis have done to the Palestinians for over a fucking year. And it's not to say that Israeli civilians deserve to be bombed. That's not what it's to say. But what it's to say is, how do you expect the world to weep for you when you have been committing a fucking genocide doing the exact same things that are happening to you now? How do you expect that? How do you expect that shit? Chris, that's anti-Semitic? No, it isn't. You're just stupid.
News has confirmed that hospital is within a mile of an Israeli military intelligence compound that was operational as recently as last month. Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke to reporters while surveying the hospital damage, calling the government in Iran a criminal regime while praising the action the U.S. has already taken to defend Israel.
President Trump will do what's best for America. I trust his judgment. He's a tremendous friend, a tremendous world leader, a tremendous.
Oh my God, dude! He's got Trump's fucking nuts in his hand. He's fucking blowing Trump because he needs those bunker busters. Remember that if Netanyahu does not get those bunker busters, the only option he has is to either use a fucking tactical nuke or to send in his ground forces and actually get them in a fight against people who shoot back instead of fucking children.
People, and we will do what we have to do, and we are doing it. We are committed to destroying the nuclear threat, the threat of a nuclear annihilation against Israel.
NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley is in Tel Aviv and filed this report.
It looked as though we had a days-long reprieve from the Iranians here in Tel Aviv, but this morning shattered all of that. There was another direct impact on a hospital, this time in the southern part of the country, in the city of Beersheba. This
Thank you for
injured
$2,
about
crazy.
24 people, perhaps more, but none of them were particularly serious. There were no
Thank you
additional
for $2,
deaths.
Cat Station.
There haven't been any deaths from Iranian bombardment in the past nearly 72 hours. So in many ways, this country has turned the corner. But the fact is that we're seeing impacts still from Iranian ballistic missiles. We heard from the IDF this morning. An official there said that they had put out about 2/3 of Iran's ballistic missile launchers. But he said there are still a lot
Chris,
of
do you
missiles
support
that
Iran or
has yet
neither
to
side?
fire.
I
So
don't
that is a very
believe any nation on earth should have nuclear weapons. But Israel is the aggressor in this conflict. 7 days ago, Israel attacked Iran for no fucking reason. Israel attacked Iran with no warning, illegally attacked their nuclear facilities that are protected by international law, by the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, because you can't fucking bomb nuclear radioactive material enrichment sites. So if you're asking me, who is the main chief villain in this? Fucking Israel. Is Iran a good government? No. Is the Islamic Republic of Iran, do they have domestic problems of their own? Yeah. But is the solution to Iran's problems, especially the way they treat women, is the solution to Iran's problems bombing them and having a forceful regime change to create a power vacuum where a fucking jihadist can take over? No. That's not the fucking solution.
Troubling situation as we reach 1 week into this tit-for-tat offensive. The Iranian attacks reprisals for the unprecedented attacks.
Alan's right. No, my bad. But Iran has been 2 weeks from having a nuclear weapon since 1986. Fucking what are we talking about?
That Israel fired at Iran starting last Friday morning. The Israelis have said that their objective is to totally disable Iran's nuclear program. And to that effect, they hit another, this time a reactor today that had been decommissioned before. The Israelis said that this reactor, they understand, is going to be used to try to refine plutonium, which so far hasn't been a major ingredient in Iran's nuclear program. Still, clearly, the Israelis trying to destroy this nuclear program, but the focus seems to be shifting a little bit towards that other goal that has remained somewhat mysterious, very prominent in the background, the idea of regime change. After that hospital was struck, we heard from Israel Katz, the defense minister, saying that the Ayatollah who leads Iran should no longer be allowed to exist.
Our thanks to Matt Bradley for that report. Joining me now is NBC News White House correspondent Vaughn Hilliard, and NBC News senior national security correspondent Courtney Cubie is with me on set. Vaughn, let me start with you at the White House. Talk about the key takeaways after we learned from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt that the president is now giving himself this 2-week timeline in order to make a potential decision about
giving
Iran.
himself a 2-week timeline. Benjamin Netanyahu heard 2 weeks and said, "No, fuck that! No, fuck that!" and tried to fucking assassinate Khamenei yesterday. And we don't even know if he's fucking alive anymore. We don't even know if the supreme leader of Iran is even alive, dog.
Right. There's two fronts to this. Number one, Kristen, it was on Monday night that the president returned to the United States, leaving the G7 summit early, and in a social media post directing individuals in Tehran to, quote, evacuate. The stakes of what would amount to staggering consequences of potential American airstrikes on Iran are vast. And the president here in just the last 24 hours has suggested that he could hit Iran at any minute and that he will make the decision at due time, and that nobody knows what he's going to do except for him when he ultimately decides to do it, if in fact he decides to use U.S. forces to strike. Now, this timeline of within 2 weeks that the press secretary at the White House just this afternoon provided, I think one deserves some context. We have seen from the president over the last decade of his time in politics, in office, and as a candidate.
He says 2 weeks all the time. 2 weeks for the Ukraine deal. 2 weeks for the Taiwan deal. 2 weeks for the tariffs. He loves 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
He loves Fortnite. Wait, isn't 2 weeks a fortnight? Oh my God, he loves Fortnite. That's what this is.
Timelines on domestic.
Trump truth. Let's see. Trump truth. Is this what you wanted me to pull up? Is this what you wanted me to pull up, chatter? Is that it? Are we being dead ass? Are we being dead ass right now? You sick fuck.
Agenda items, but also it was just 3 weeks ago that he promised that there would be consequences if, in the scenario that Russia did not agree to a certain extent ceasefire or peace deal negotiations.
Thank you for the $2,
Last Wednesday,
Tuxedo.
that deadline, that 2-week deadline, it came and it went with no apparent.
Oh, Dementia Donnie. Dementia Donnie is losing his shit.
All right, so CBS News national security correspondent not far from where Willie is. He's over at the Pentagon now. Charlie, the Pentagon is where the pulse of the military.
Sandra, as President Trump weighs a strike on Iran, the Pentagon prepares its assets in the region. A dozen F-22s are the latest ahead in the direction of the Middle East. Our chief national security correspondent, Jennifer Griffin, with more on all of this. Jen?
U.S. military assets in the region that the U.S. is preparing itself for if and when the president gives the final order to strike Fordow and defend U.S. bases in the region. F-22s like these, which launched from Langley Air Force Base yesterday, are stealth and supersonic and would be part of any strike package. They would help escort the...
Yo, the cameraman is fucking running so fast.
Stealth B-2 bombers through Iranian airspace. That's why you need so many refuelers pre-positioned, because it won't just be the B-2 flying alone. They fly in pairs, escorted, and it would likely take multiple strikes on Fordow using a B-2 squadron. You also need electronic warfare planes that fly off an aircraft carrier as part of this mission. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu again praised the American pilots, soldiers, and U.S. Navy ships that have been intercepting missiles.
Bro, look at that list. Oh my God, bro. We looked at this yesterday, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. And there are people, there are MAGA brainworm-ridden chuds who are like, we're in peace times. What?
Missiles fired at Israel.
They're already helping a lot because they're participating in the protection of the skies over Israel and its cities with THAAD missile batteries that are in Israel, with Aegis ships that are on the shore of Israel, with our pilots that are fighting alongside our pilots to knock out drones. I think it's a remarkable cooperation.
The massive ordnance penetrator, the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs like the one shown here being tested by the Air Force in 2018 were built with the Iranian and North Korean underground nuclear sites in mind and have a stated depth of 200 feet underground. The problem is that Fordow is at least 300 feet underground. The president wants to know whether the 30,000-pound conventional bunker buster could finish the job. They have never been used before in combat, but were tested as recently as last year under conditions that replicate the Fordow site through a mountain complex with layers of limestone and dolomite rock, which geologists call nature's own bomb shelter. This video released today by the IDF shows what Israeli bombs did to Iran's heavy water reactor at Arak, another key nuclear facility. Now a U.S. Central Command awaits the go order from the president, who may like to see what negotiators in Geneva come up with tomorrow in talking to Iran's foreign minister. John?
All right, we'll see what the next few days hold.
Yeah, no, they literally, Iran was like, yo, wait, make it 100 feet deeper. That's so fucking funny, dude. Everything's computer. That's so fucked.
Jennifer Griffin for us at the Pentagon. Jen, thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host.
Yeah, they just admitted that we've been preparing for this, bro. Oh, was it Brett Baier? I think it was Brett Baier.
Does that mean you haven't made a decision yet on what to do?
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, you know, because things change. I mean, especially with war. Things change with war. It can go from one.
What are the names of those Fox News hosts? What are their names? Because there's one of them. The fuck was his name? Oh, it's Hannity. It was Hannity. Hannity said that they got to nuke him. Hannity said they got to nuke him.
With reaction, Fox News contributor, former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. It's obvious. I mean, in so many ways, he's given them every opportunity to peacefully get out of what is their own demise and destruction. Can you believe in such a short period of time, the Israelis dominate the airwaves and the skies of Iran in such a short period of time? I mean, they can deliver one devastating blow after another. The question is this one facility, the Fordo facility, and whether or not the United States will take them out with bunker busters. Your thoughts tonight?
Well, when historians look back and say, did Donald Trump really make a difference? Think about this. The original Ayatollah Khomeini first started calling us the Great Satan in 1978. Iranian mobs began chanting death to America in 1979 when they seized illegally the American embassy. They have been taunting us, attacking us, harassing us all these years through all these presidents. And finally, they have collided with Donald J. Trump, and he's crossed the line. He and Netanyahu are partners, much like Reagan and Margaret Thatcher were partners.
That's not a flex. Ronald Reagan was a fucking terrible president, notoriously terrible. And Margaret Thatcher is quite possibly the most famous twat in existence. Like, unironically, Margaret Thatcher may be the most famous evil cunt who's ever lived, second only to Eva Braun. Dude, these are different people. These are different people.
And the two of them are going to change history decisively. I believe they're going to break the mullahs and the regime, create a new Iran, which will, in a decade, be dramatically more prosperous, be a neighbor, be accepted, be part of the region. This would not have happened with anyone except Donald J. Trump. It's obvious. This guy has
You're
the
right.
guts.
This would not have happened without Donald J. Trump. You couldn't have said it any better, Newt. You couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, you're right. If Trump wasn't in office, this shit wouldn't have fucking happened.
He has the understanding. He actually follows the logic. If you don't want a nuclear Iran, then you've got to stop the mullahs, because as long as they're there, there's going to be a nuclear Iran, and he's prepared to do whatever it takes to stop them. This will not be a forever war. This will be a brief, brutal, direct use of American power to end the regime and end the threat and make both the world and the Middle East safer.
Bro, I'm having fucking flashbacks to 2004 right now. I'm dead ass having flashbacks to 2004. I'm having PTSD right now, bro. Bro, another regime change, another oil war, it's not going to be a forever war. We're going to win this quick and easy. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Are we fucking kidding?
You know, I'm trying to understand. Now, I showed the polls. The overwhelming number of Americans, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, support the president. I mean, the poll of Robert Cahaley and Matt Towery in particular, we can put it up and we can find it, you know, asked a very pointed question: by any means necessary, and 75% of respondents said, yeah, Donald Trump should use any means necessary to take it out.
Any means necessary. Bro, we are so fucking cooked. Any means necessary? Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass? By any means necessary.
You know, what's amazing to me is people talk about, you know, Donald Trump wanting a forever war. Well, he didn't have a forever war when he took out Soleimani.
Later, Nelson.
Or Baghdadi and Associates. Didn't have a forever war when he beat the ISIS caliphate. He just kicked the living hell out of them, won, and turned around and went home. And in this case, it would be take out the Fordo nuclear site, and from that point on, protect our assets in the region and let the Israelis do whatever they need to do, considering they've been the victim of the vast majority of those missiles being fired into their country by Iran and by their proxies.
Look, if we finish crushing the Revolutionary Guard, my hunch is that the army will side with the people and they will take over the country, liberate it, and move towards a prosperous, peaceful Iran that we can live with. And there are an enormous number of Iranian Americans who are very successful, who are prepared to go back and help rebuild their country once the dictatorship is gone. But nobody should kid themselves. This is a decisive moment in world history. This is going to change not just the region, but, you know, what happened was the American people since 1978 have had these people chanting death.
What the fuck was, oh, I gotta show you this other interview on Fox because it's absolutely bonkers. I saw Kyle covering it and I could not believe my fucking ears. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, dude. Deport Donald Trump. Hundo P. Fucking send Trump back to Germany. Here it is. What's the guy's name?
So our media, especially Fox News,
Thanks,
has
Ashley.
a disgusting.
Who the fuck was it? They don't even have. Who is it? Tell me who it is, Kyle. Kyle, just tell me who the fuck it is.
Says offensive wars. Oh my God! Take over Gaza. Go take over Panama. There are to his words here. Listen to what he says Trump should do, and then what that would make Trump. Watch.
For more on this, let's bring in Fox News contributor Yu Hewitt. All right, first off, Yu, before I get to what Democrats and Tom Massey are saying, do you think the president has decided already to strike Iran?
Watch this.
I
Listen
hope
to
so.
this shit.
I think all the signals indicate that his last meeting in the Situation Room was a confirming meeting that he will join Israel in striking at least Fordo, as well as any other parts of the nuclear program in Iran that cannot be reached by Israeli munitions. I believe the B-2s can get there. We also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there in the event that there's any release of radioactive material from Fordo after it's bombed. I hope he does. I think it will secure his place in history as a peacemaker.
Did you hear that? I hope he does bomb them. It'll secure his place in history as a peacemaker. I'm going to play that again.
There, we also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there in the event that there's any release of radioactive material from Fordo after it's bombed. I hope he does. I think it will secure his place in history as a peacemaker.
Bro, I never want to hear a single MAGA brainworm-ridden chud. Sorry, give me back my frames. I never want to hear one of them talk about anti-war shit ever again. All right, I think Tel Aviv is about to get bombed again. Let me change the title of the stream, too. Who is taking my frames? Give me back my frames. You sick bastards. I'm gonna fucking hit you. Sorry. Changing the name of the stream. World War 3 Updates. Oh. Car bomb threat on Zoran? No, but Zoran, dude, my manager works with Zoran. Zoran gets death threats every single day, bro.
To join Israel's strikes on Iran within the next 2 weeks. The White House press secretary said Donald Trump thought there was a substantial chance of negotiations with Tehran over ending the conflict. It came at the end of another day of missile exchanges between Israel and Iran. Almost 300 people were injured in Israel today, including more than 70 when a hospital was hit. Iran has warned the United States not to get involved in the conflict, saying it would result
Zoran is Indian. Yeah, that's not live. My bad. Dude, where are the live streams? Where are the fucking live streams? I guess they don't have the Tel Aviv skyline live anymore. Huh. That's very concerning, right? That's very concerning.
All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that. And it would take a couple of weeks to complete the production of that weapon, which would, of course, pose an existential threat, not just to Israel, but to the United States and to the entire world.
The conflict between Israel and Iran causing The View to make some pretty outrageous comments and comparisons. Whoopi Goldberg just stepped in it.
I'm sorry, but where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even.
Yeah,
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Earlier today, I imagined what it would have been like if you had been on the set and what you would have said to Whoopi when she said that.
Well, her reaction is born of identity politics. If you help these Jews, you're going to hurt the blacks, which is weird coming from a lady named Goldberg.
What the fuck?
But I believe on The View, they have a rule. One panelist has to say something so crazy every day that everybody else looks sane, and that day was Whoopi's. And
dude, I just know this fucking guy.
But I think she's like,
can't you picture him with like a gag in his mouth, just getting pumped in the back from some giant dude? Because I fucking can. Thank you for the $5 donation. I'm losing frames like crazy right now, though.
Whoopi AI. It's not even a real Whoopi anymore. She just has race, and she just pulls out of it. You know, one of the many benefits of Trump is his refusal to land in the world of the half opinion. You know, he thinks it through. You know, they're both sides traffic in half opinions. We don't want war, half opinion. We don't want Iran to get the nuclear bomb, a half opinion. And those are the easiest opinions to have because no one's going to disagree with you on either one because you're not discussing the risk of both decisions. Both decisions have risks. So in a weird way, half opinions are propaganda. Telling a story without a risk is a lie, and it helps you advance your cause. That's propaganda. So then you look at Trump. This is a good example. You know, people could say Americans could drop bunker busters to destroy Iran's facilities. That's a half opinion. What does Trump do? He says, do they work? Mm-hmm. You know, he thinks it through by asking the question that bureaucrats don't ask because they don't want to sound stupid, but he's actually asking, does it work? And I think that's why we elected him. One of the reasons is that he isn't going to do anything.
Did your internet
where
drop?
he's going to
No,
lose.
dude, I don't really
that's
know
why
what
he didn't
the fuck
believe that he
happened.
lost in 2020. And he's right. But he won't step in until he knows it's going to work.
Here, let me try to fix something here. Let me see. Hi, Beans. Just lowered the bit rate a little bit. I think that'll fix it. I think that did fix it. Right? Kinda. I don't fucking know. Alright. That's crazy. Alright. Oh, and there go the frames again. Fuck! Alright, whatever, fuck it. We'll fix this in the future. I'll fix this next time. Wow, dude, they really do have a lid on all of this. So choppy. I know, I'm sorry. Sorry. I am a fucking dipshit, if you didn't know this. I don't know much about computers. I may be a streamer, but I'm a stupid one when it comes to technology. Let's hear it for the man of the year. Everything's computer. It can't be that bad now, right? I don't think it's that bad anymore. Luigi, stop it.
Regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
And is he seeing any signs of progress? He obviously is holding out hope for negotiations, but is he seeing any inklings of progress that give him that hope that talks are still possible?
Well, that's why he said in the statement that I just read for all of you, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, he will make that decision within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, meanwhile, I could pull up a clip of the Iranian foreign minister says he will not negotiate with the U.S. I'm going to have to actually find it on YouTube, aren't I?
Okay, tell me what is going on. What has been damaged? How close to your headquarters? What can you tell me exactly about what's...
Who are just sleeping in their homes. They attacked our university professors. So this is a crime against humanity, pure and simple.
Okay, so Mr. Ravanchi, they also attacked your military leadership. Your intelligence headquarters, we understand now, has been hit for the domestic control. They've attacked...
which is safeguarded under IAEA rules. So unfortunately, the Americans...
To a few things. Clearly, you must be concerned. You must be worried that more leadership targets will be hit. You have... The supreme leader, your ruler there, Ayatollah Khamenei, the Ayatollah, has come out and said that you will never surrender in response to Donald Trump. But I understand also that things are pretty bad for you and that you have tried to reach out to the U.S. and to Israelis to try to get some kind of negotiation track back on track. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I do not share your assessment. We are not reaching out to anybody. We are defending ourselves. Although we have always promoted diplomacy, but we cannot negotiate under the threats. We cannot negotiate while our people are under bombardment every day. So we are not begging for anything. We are just defending ourselves. And we have an experience of 8 years of war against...
That's true.
Right, so I'll keep that there. Now I want to get something about this attempted assassination. Iraq heavy water facility. The man. All right. Yeah. All right. So we got a plan. We got a plan for this video. All right. And then what was that guy? Fox News, Hugh Hewitt. Maybe I could pull this up on Twitter. Fox News Hugh Hewitt interview. When was I born? 1997.
Frankly, all of the signals indicate that his last meeting in the Situation Room was a confirming meeting that he will join Israel in striking at least Fordo, as well as any other parts of the nuclear program in Iran that cannot be reached by Israeli munitions. I believe the B-2s can get there. We also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there.
All right, so we got that. All right. All right, let me make a fucking video real quick. I'm worried that as soon as I start recording, this shit's gonna shit the bed. Something's fuck-wuckied with my shit. I gotta clean my clean out some RAM, I think. But fuck it, I don't give a shit. When I start recording, please let me know if I lose frames drastically, all right? Because I may not be able to tell. We good? All right. So Donald Trump can't make a decision for the life of him. And he's like, give me 2 weeks and I'll decide whether or not to bomb Iran. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu is like, you got 2 days or I'm just going to fucking kill the supreme leader. And also, Israel may have killed the Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, like, last night. We're still, like, these are unconfirmed reports, but they bombed the ever-loving fuck out of the place that they claimed he was hiding in. And if you remember, Trump posted on Twitter, he was like, I know where the Ayatollah lives, and I'll fucking kill him. Not my words, that was Trump's. So, yeah, shit's getting fuck-wuckied. We got the BBC coverage on this. I'm losing frames right now. Forgive me, even though I'm losing some frames. I got to fix that. And then we've got this guy on Fox News named Hugh Hewitt, who's just like the most warmongering piece of shit that I've ever seen. And this is the shit that they're spoon-feeding into like your crazy uncle's ears. You know, like the guy who watches Fox News in your family. It's just the craziest shit I've ever seen. So we got a lot to cover. Actually, we don't have that much to cover, but we're going to cover it anyway. Before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're new here, I'm Chris Valenti. Hello for all the new people. We've been blowing up recently, and I really appreciate all the views, all the subs, all the likes. I love you all. Don't forget to help support the channel financially if you want this to keep on going. Other than that, let's get to reading here. Trump to decide on U.S. action in Israel-Iran conflict within 2 weeks. So we've got no lip Levitt here because Trump won't come out on video and say anything. Trump is like shaking in his boots. I think he's sick too. If you saw his recent videos, he's like, his voice sounds real bad. And he's like, he just looks weak and old. I don't know, but let's watch.
Regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
And is he seeing any signs of progress? He obviously is holding out hope for negotiations, but is he seeing any inklings of progress that give him that hope that talks are still possible?
Well, that's why he said in the statement that I just read for all of you, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, he will make that decision within the next 2 weeks.
So there is no chance of negotiations, and you don't need to take my word for it. You can take the word of the Iranian foreign minister, okay? Here.
And to Israelis to try to get some kind of negotiation track back on track. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I do not share your assessment. We are not reaching out to anybody. We are defending ourselves. Although we have always promoted diplomacy, but we cannot negotiate under the threats. We cannot negotiate while our people are under bombardment every day. So we are not begging for anything. We are just defending ourselves. And we have an experience of 8 years of war against Saddam's aggression back in 80s. And now we are defending ourselves against the Israeli regime, which is being helped by Americans, which is being protected by Americans and some others.
As you know.
So Trump is just directly putting us in the crosshairs of the Iranians. And meanwhile, Fox News is doing the most warmonger. It's also not just Fox. CNN is doing the same thing. Like CNN, News Nation, everybody is falling in line. It's like deja vu to 2004. Everybody is falling in line being pro-war. Like, dude, and this will blow your fucking mind. I promise you this will blow your mind.
Do you think the president has decided already to strike Iran?
I hope so. I think all the signals indicate that his last meeting in the Situation Room was a confirming meeting that he will join Israel in striking at least Fordo, as well as any other parts of the nuclear program in Iran that cannot be reached by Israeli munitions. I believe the B-2s can get there. We also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there in the event that there's any release of radioactive material from Fordo after it's bombed. I hope he does. I think it will secure his place in history as a peacemaker, because after the...
Did you hear that? I hope he bombs Fordo because it'll secure his place in history as a peacemaker. I don't know how to fix you if you can hear that and go, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, bomb them. That makes us a peacemaker. What the fuck are we talking about?
The nuclear program is dismantled, and he has said for 10 years they may not have a nuke. He said it last night. He said it 10 years ago when he came down the escalator. He's been consistent. They may not have a nuke. After it's destroyed, he'll go into the history books as a great peacemaker.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, last night, fucking Israel attempted an assassination on the Ayatollah. Let's see. Iranian missiles hit a major hospital in southern Israel and struck residential buildings in Tel Aviv on Thursday, wounding 240 people and causing extensive damage. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz blamed Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and said the military, quote, has been instructed and knows that in order to achieve all of its goals, this man absolutely should not continue to exist, end quote. Thank you, Diablo-Fu. Appreciate you. Israel, meanwhile, carried out strikes on Iran's Arak heavy water reactor, its latest attack on Iran's sprawling nuclear program. You can't say heavy water reactor and sprawling nuclear program. Using heavy water to create a nuclear weapon hasn't been popular since the fucking 1940s, and even then, it was a dog shit way to create a nuclear weapon. Brother, why has Iran been 2 weeks from having a nuke since 1985? What are we talking about? Oh my God. The White House says King Doland will decide within the next 2 weeks whether to strike Iran. It says Trump still sees a substantial chance to negotiate. You are such a dumb, fat, orange fucking idiot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, based on the fact that there's no chance for negotiations, King Doland, you're out of your fucking mind. Let's check Trump's truth. Trump truth. Real quick, let's check Trump truth. Oh my God, what is this? Just approved storm damage money for the great state of Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, and North Carolina, among other states that have been previously approved. Meanwhile, this fuckface cut FEMA funding. Dude. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God. Listen, today is like this weirdly, like a lid on the pot day of news, because Trump is doing this thing where he's like, maybe we'll strike them, maybe we won't, maybe it'll be 2 weeks, maybe it'll be 2 days, I don't know. there's not much info coming out of Washington right now, okay? So if I get more info coming out of Washington, I'll fucking make a post. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. If you're here live, you stay. But if you're watching this pre-recorded, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Other than that, do me a favor and click that video over there. I promise you, it's a banger, and I know bangers. I can't stop the recording. All right, there we go. Very short video. Yeah, well, there ain't too much to work with. There ain't too much to work with. I just joined. I'm not ending the live, bro. I'm not ending the live.
This is the green line, I think, huh?
Chris, let's be real. How much money does the DNC pay you to make propaganda? You think the DNC pays me, a socialist, who tells everybody that Kamala Harris fucking sucks, Chuck Schumer is a piece of shit, Nancy Pelosi is an insider trader. Brother, do you know anything about me? Do you know anything about me? Or are you just here because some sort of MAGA influencer told you that I'm the guy to hate this week? Are you dead ass? Ignore him. We talked to him yesterday. I gotta hear a response first. I gotta hear a response. Are you dead ass? Come on. Say something. You think the DNC's paying a socialist? The older millennial said that about you. The older millennial is a fucking alcoholic criminal on the run with a warrant for his fucking arrest for violating his parole. I debated the older millennial, and I have a video of it where he fucking ran away with his tail tucked between his legs because I got him to admit on video that he would support legislation forcing women to give birth. That's your fucking beacon of truth? That's your beacon of truth? The older millennial? Let me guess. You like Charlie Kirk too. Is Charlie Kirk someone you look up to as well? Is Charlie Kirk someone you look up to as well, bro? Thanks for the DNC money to spend on transing the youth and spreading Marxist-Leninist ideology. I'm going to move on, but last question for you, West Coast. You are aware that Charlie Kirk said that if his daughter was raped and impregnated, he would force her to give birth, right? Are you aware of that? And if you are aware of that, are you still a fan of him after he said that? Are you still a fan of him after he said that? More propaganda? No, I'm asking if you're, like, you know he said that, right? Or are you saying he didn't say that? Are you saying he didn't say that? Thank you for the $2. Yes, this is where we trans the mice. Oh, you don't think he did? Oh, okay.
You had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped. And she was going to give birth and she would, no, wait. Oh, and she was going to give birth and she was going to live.
would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's.
Thank you for the $10 donation. Yeah, we will spend that $10 spreading communist propaganda. So he already said it before I could even call it. I was going to say, the next thing you're going to say is, well, I don't support everything he says. Oh, Chris, once you're done having fun, I'm going to ban him. Perfect. So, again, you are totally fine with supporting somebody who would force their daughter to give birth after she's raped and impregnated, and you think that you're a serious person in the intellectual battlefield? You think that your opinion actually matters? No. You will be left behind with the rest of the backwash scum of our society, while the rest of us build civilization, because you and your opinions are fucking worthless. Worthless. Regressive. You bring us back in time. Hail Trump, that's koofs. That's literally koofs. Thank you for the $5 donation. Yeah, the older millennial also said disabled people should be thrown off a cliff. Hail Trump. They're all the fucking same. You could ban him. I hope your mother gets cancer. Wait till he can hear that. I hope your mother gets cancer. Now you can ban him. Why do you say ban someone for saying the opposite thing? Hail Trump? Hail Trump? Brother? You think I can save somebody who says hail Trump? Are you out of your fucking mind? Actually, one part, hold on. There's one part of it that I didn't cover that I really want to show you guys that's fucking crazy.
That city, right? Who care about it. Let's get into Iran momentarily, but
This is our leadership, and you have the audacity to claim that any other nation is like Iran. Oh, Iran's a religious theocracy. Oh, we can't. The Bible is the reason why you are permanently loyal to Israel? It's a Genesis. Brother, why is Tucker Carlson slapping this man around? Biblically, we are commanded to support Israel, is what that Canadian man named Raphael just said. And brother, anybody who says something like that, you can disregard everything they have to say. Problem is, that's the senator of Texas, bro. People are literally spoon-fed Republican propaganda from the time that they're fucking 9 years old, and now they have the job of spewing out that propaganda, bro. It's fucking insane. Oh. See if there's any Al Jazeera updates. Yes, it is insane, but let's not forget there's democratic propaganda as well. Such as what? Copy that, Jack. Such as what, bro? What propaganda are you talking about? Ban Moto Moto is a Nazi.
There's a moment when a young girl turns into a woman.
Trump just said he doesn't rule out nuking Iran. From where? Where'd you hear that, Kiwi? Source. Adriana Smith. Is that the woman who was, like, hospitalized? And, oh, yeah, they cut the baby out of her. She's, like, comatose or some shit.
The current state of abortion access is deeply fragile.
Yeah, this is fucking disgusting. Yeah, there's like a brain dead woman who's been in hospital for like, I don't even know, a couple of months now. Moto, what did I do? You said some shit about that looks like a Jew hat. And you can't even spell yarmulke correctly. It's called a fucking yarmulke. If you aren't even aware of the shit you're saying being anti-Semitic, then just keep your fucking mouth shut, okay? There's a fucking difference between criticizing the nation of Israel and just saying blatantly fucking anti-Semitic shit. And it's not going to be fucking tolerated. I don't give a fuck if you donate $10,000 to my fucking channel, okay? I don't give a fuck. I have a zero tolerance policy for anti-Semitic shit. Anyway. Don't worry about it, Jack. I'll give him one fucking warning. That's it. A pregnant, brain-dead woman in Georgia was kept on life support. Experts say it raises ethical and legal questions. Adriana Smith, 31-year-old Georgia nurse and mother, was just 8 weeks pregnant when she was declared brain dead in February after suffering a medical condition. However, the family claims the hospital told them legally she had to be kept on life support to allow the fetus to grow due to the state's strict abortion laws. Jesus Christ. It was born. It was not born, dude. It was carved out of her. Did they let her die? Went to hospital. Okay, but did she die? Did they allow her to fucking move on? Did they allow her to move on now? Yes? Okay, good. But dude, they kept that woman's body hostage and used it as a fucking incubator. Didn't know how to spell it? It's not about the spelling, it's about you calling it a Jew hat. If you ever call it a Jew hat again, you're getting permanently banned. Understood? Say yes, daddy. The baby was 3 months early, and now she's in the NICU. Excuse me. Excuse me.
We begin with Peter Ducey. He's live from the North Lawn for us. Hello, Peter.
Sandra, Iranian leaders' public comments have been so brash since this Israeli assault began. They have given no public indication that they are ready to wind down the nuclear weapons program. So somebody in one of these back channels from Iran has said something to the folks that work here that makes them think that diplomacy is still possible. And now we know exactly what President Trump is hoping for with a potential deal.
No enrichment of a uranium, and it would absolutely not. Iran is absolutely not able to achieve a nuclear weapon. The president has been very clear about that. And by the way, the deal that Special Envoy Witkoff proposed to the Iranians was both realistic and acceptable within its terms.
And just in case there's any ambiguity, Caroline Leavitt further clarified her statement about the president's thought process that she delivered after President Trump got out of a classified intelligence briefing.
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
So that leaves a lot of wiggle room for many different outcomes, but the fact, according to White House officials, is that their intelligence shows them Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon. Sandra.
Peter Ducey at the White House on that for us. Peter, thank you. John.
Hey, Sean I'm so Hannity tired of hearing that Iran is about to have a nuclear weapon. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm not even kidding. My entire life, I've heard that. Since the waking moment of my birth, I have been told that Iran is 2 weeks from having a fucking nuclear weapon, bro.
Caroline, thank you. So Rhino warmonger Lindsey Graham, he recently called on the U.S. to go all in.
What the fuck did he just say? Did he call Lindsey Graham a rhino warmonger in his fucking question? Dude, that's a ballsy reporter right there. Hold on.
Caroline, thank you. So Rhino warmonger Lindsey Graham.
He did. Rhino warmonger Lindsey Graham.
He recently called on the U.S. to go all in.
That's quite the lead to a question.
Right. What's your message to everyday Trump supporters? Not the Tucker Carlsons or other big names, but everyday Trump supporters, grassroots who voted for President Trump to stop the wars, rejected this in the primary, going into another war with voting against Nikki Haley, and they want to see non-U.S. involvement in this war. What's your message?
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda. And with respect to Iran, nobody should be surprised by the president's position that Iran absolutely cannot obtain a nuclear weapon.
Trump posted on Truth. Let's see. Oh my God. What is this? What is this gonna be? What the fuck, dude? Say awesome if you love this picture. I'm with this guy. Too many non-working holidays in America. It is costing our country billions of dollars to keep all these businesses closed. The workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for every once working day of the year. What? For every once working day of the year? Oh my God. It must change if we're going to make America great again. What? I'm sorry. Fucking what, dude? Cool, Donnie. Cool. is this guy?
The warning, which is nice to obviously the civilians. Let's go to the next video.
Oh,
And here's Bernard Smith with reaction in Israel to Trump's announcement. Bernard is reporting from Jordan's capital, Amman, because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting in Israel and the occupied West Bank.
About 10 minutes before that White House statement, the Israeli Broadcasting Authority issued comments from Israeli officials who clearly must have seen the statement coming because they said that without U.S. involvement, our operation against Iran will last 2 to 3 weeks. With U.S. involvement, the war's objectives can be achieved within days. They said Israel is convinced the U.S. will join the attack, including the attack on Forda, the mountain within which are these centrifuges, the bunker buster bombs. And then they said, we appreciate the Americans joining if they decide to do so, but we will know how to accomplish the mission on our own.
Now, the Israeli military says it's carried out more strikes against nuclear facilities in Iran. That's after vowing to intensify airstrikes in response to Tehran's missile attack, which damaged a major hospital in southern Israel. Iran says it's launched dozens of drones targeting Israeli military sites. Paul Ging reports.
Israeli strikes on Iran have intensified. The military struck near Iran's heavy water facility at Hondab. That's part of the country's nuclear program. The facility is still under construction and not expected to start operating until next year. But observers say
You're saying the facility's still under construction, couldn't even be operating till next year. Meanwhile, you're claiming that Iran is 3 days from having a nuke? Like, what are we talking about?
Risk of a nuclear leak.
That is of no danger to people outside the immediate area of a bombing. You're more likely to be killed by the bomb than you are by something from the uranium itself. It poses no danger whatsoever to people outside.
Aaron Parnas, let's check out what Aaron's got. Let's see what fucked up thing TikTok shows me off the rip.
It's okay to laugh, goddammit. You can laugh, goddammit. Buckle up, it's gonna be a long night.
We have some serious news right now. According to CBS News, the FBI is ramping up surveillance of Iranian sleeper cells in the United States of America.
Is that why I keep losing frames? Mashallah,
Ever since Israel's attacks on Iran, and especially since Donald Trump has begun considering possibly sending U.S. military planes to bomb Iranian nuclear sites. According to CBS, Donald Trump, as he's contemplating the potential U.S. strikes, law enforcement officers have stepped up surveillance of Iran-backed operations in the United States. They're worried about cells linked to Hezbollah, which is a U.S.-designated foreign terrorist organization, which is backed by Iran, along with other potential domestic sleeper cells that Iran is running. Why are they doing this? Well, they're concerned about a possible attack on the homeland on U.S.
Brother, I made a video on my main account, like, I think the day Trump was inaugurated, and I said, I'm calling it now. Trump is going to pull some giant false flag operation in order to scare the ever-loving fuck out of the American people and invoke the Insurrection Act. Brother, if they stage some sort of Iranian sleeper cell revolution, that's all they need. Then they'll actually be able to say we have been invaded by a foreign adversary. Then they could actually say that.
U.S. soil, and they want to make sure that they're ahead of anything that could happen if the United States were to get involved and strike Iran. This is a very serious situation, and it's only growing more serious as the U.S. gets more involved. So we'll see what happens next. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack link to bio.
No, it's not a supercell. It's a sleeper cell. A sleeper cell is somebody that you embed in a foreign nation to live normally. They get a job. Maybe they become a citizen. They're a normal fucking person. But before they were sent there, they were trained to wait until they were activated. And activation could be being texted a message that says, like, the sky is red, right? It's just specific things that activate these people to know now it is time for your mission. Their mission they were trained for before they were ever sent there is to either, cause mass damage or blow shit up, kill people. That's what a sleeper cell is.
We have some big news right now. The Florida Attorney General is proposing the creation of the Alligator Alcatraz to assist with deportation efforts. Yes, the Alligator Alcatraz, which is a new prison facility that they would build in the Everglades, miles away from any nearest airport, that would be surrounded by literally the alligators and the pythons in Alligator Alley in the Everglades. And he's calling it Alligator Alcatraz. He is now claiming that it could be up and running in just 30 to 60 days, and he is trying to help facilitate Donald Trump's deportation efforts by building this temporary and maybe even permanent prison facility in the middle of the Everglades, which he's calling the Alligator Alcatraz. Now, here's why it's called Alcatraz.
What about Iran burning, Iran Parliament burning the American flag? Brother, I could burn the American flag. My father fought in Vietnam and when he got back, joined the anti-war movement, and they would burn American flags. You have a fucking constitutional right to burn the American flag. That is completely legal. Completely legal. Thank you for the $2, Battle Mason.
It would be in the middle of a swamp that is infested by gators, that is infested by pythons, and other creatures that you really don't want to get involved with. I've personally been fishing in the Everglades. We went on a school field trip there. If you are alone in the Everglades and you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get out. But just think about this is what they're proposing in 2025. Spread the word, follow along for more. We have some big news right now. The Florida Attorney General is proposing the We have some big news right now. Multiple airlines are now suspending flights to the Middle East, including American Airlines and United Airlines. Latest reporting confirms that American Airlines has now suspended flights to Doha, Qatar, and United Airlines has suspended daily flights to Dubai, the UAE, as they continue to monitor developments in the Middle East. Now, this may or may not have anything to do with the United States potentially striking Iran, but what we do know is that if the United States does decide to strike Iran, Iran will target U.S. military bases in the region, and U.S. has a military base in Qatar, for example. And so, but this could also be just generally in response to the fact that there are literally ballistic missiles being shot right now from Iran to Israel, Israel to Iran. There are a number of military planes in the air as well. So it's a very complicated situation in the Middle East, and we're now seeing airlines stop service to certain areas. We kind of saw this with Russia and Ukraine as well in the early days of the war leading up to it. So we'll see what happens next. I'll provide you updates every step of the way. So subscribe to my Substack to support at the link in my bio and follow.
These are Israeli settlers in the West Bank who are shutting fucking shutter doors. Locking out the foreign workers.
לא מאמינים.
אימא לכל הרחוב נשבר, אין יותר, יואו, אתם לא מבינים מה קורה? ביבולה! ביבולה! הלך
So in the past 7 days, something like 400 ballistic missiles and 1,000 drones have pierced through the Iron Dome. So it seems like the Israelis are running out of interceptors. They're running out of like anti-aircraft ammunition. That's why they're begging the fucking Americans to come in and save their ass. Israel says Iran crossed a red line by attacking a hospital. You destroyed every single hospital in Palestine. Every single one, dude. Are you dead ass? Later, Obi-Wan. Okay. I think I could take a break. Yeah, okay. Other than Trump saying 2 weeks, it's a relatively slow day. Take a break while searching breaking news? Nah, it's time to make a thumbie. It is time to make a thumbie. We're gonna do Trump 2 weeks. Oh, I'm just stealing this entire fucking thumbnail, bro. You didn't copyright this? You didn't copyright this? Are you out of your fucking mind, NBC? Thank you. Thank you. They didn't copyright it. That's my fucking thumbnail now. Episode 156. Should have copyrighted it. Should have copyrighted it. Yoink. Yoink. All right, we're going to lose frames because that's what happens. Yeah, no, the victimhood from Israel is very expected. That's also the way that Zionists have like held control over the Western world for so long, is by playing the victim card. Anytime you even criticize the Israeli government of anything, they just claim you're an anti-Semite. It's a tale as old as time. Really should have copyrighted this, NBC. You really should have. Chris Valenti rules. Thank you, Zachary. I appreciate that. Let's see. There we go. Hold on. Let's make this a little bit scarier. Now we're fear-mongering. Now we're fear-mongering. Now that's what I call a fear-monger. Oh, yeah, I've been numb to all this shit for fucking months, dude. The moment Trump got inaugurated, I knew we were cooked. And now that the cooking has begun, I'm like, yeah. Alrighty, thumbnail, upload. I'm going to be hopping off after this thummy time, by the way, guys, so. Oh, I can't wait for 28 years later, bro. That movie's going to be fucking incredible. When does it come out again? When does that come out? Have a good one, Joaquin. Oh, it comes out tomorrow? Then I'll go see it tomorrow. Trump says Trump is incapable of making decisions. Now, Trump's ominous threat of World War III continues to escalate. Trump's ominous threats of World War III continue to escalate. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Harlan. I really appreciate that. How about Trump put the entire world... No. Trump puts us in limbo while Israel tries to assassinate the Ayatollah. And the Republicans will cheer. Wouldn't put the A word? Why? Why? Why not? Algorithm will suppress? No, it won't. No, it fucking won't. Oh, fine. How about I change it to blow up? Tries to blow up the Ayatollah. GG, folks. Nah, bro, I'm saying blow up. Because they're trying to blow his shit up, dog. They're trying to blow his shit up sky high. Fuck you. I'm saying blow up. Let's see the beginning of it. For the life of him. For the life of him. And he's like, give me 2 weeks and I'll decide whether or not to bomb Iran. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah, that'll do. Publish. Bang. Also, guys, I think I know why I've been losing frames today. It's the heat wave. I got an email notification from Verizon that was saying that the entire area has been having internet issues, electricity issues. I'm sure you guys know, but there's a nationwide heat wave going on. Meanwhile, fucking, oh, climate change isn't real. There is a nationwide heat wave going on. All 50 fucking, maybe not Alaska. Actually, maybe Alaska's feeling it. But they don't actually get hot. It's just like not as cold as it should be. It's 102 degrees right now. For you, it's 102. For me here in New York, it's 80. But it's like so fucking humid. We're under a thunderstorm watch. Alaska had its first heat advisory ever? What? Holy shit. Meanwhile, motherfuckers are they're like, yeah, no, there's no such thing as climate change. Fucking heat warnings in Alaska is insane. That's nuts, bro. How you doing, Connor? You missed a lot.
I love New York.
What's the dog doing?
Nice people. I love New York.
There goes everything, all of your amenities. There goes all your amenities, sweetheart. Oh, I hate this shit. I hate when the subway floods, bro. It's disgusting. Because that water, bro, that water is a fucking contamination. That water, that is a biohazard, bro. New York. Oh, what the fuck?
Can you explain the logistics of sending those aircraft into the region, refueling them midair, getting them out safely?
Yeah, so likely they take off from where they're based in the United States in Missouri. It's a long flight. They usually fly at a round trip flight, and they'll use an air bridge. So there'll be tankers stationed throughout. So these are air refuelers stationed basically throughout the route that the B-2 would have to take. It then makes its way into Iran. They don't have to really worry about surface-to-air missile fire because that's been degraded so much. But normally the B-2's advantage is they're unseeable by radar. So they would basically go in, drop their bombs just pretty easily, and then turn around and fly all the way home. It's a very long mission. I don't know. It's like 30-some hours round trip. So they have more than, obviously, than 2 pilots on board. And but that's the logistics. They basically would take off from the U.S. and hit these tankers to continue to go into Iran and then come out. It's part of the reason we keep them in the United States is they're so expensive. They're so valuable to us that, frankly, to keep them somewhere else overseas would, I think, present some danger.
Can you explain the logistics of sending those aircraft?
No, we ain't getting drafted. We ain't getting drafted yet. What the fuck is this?
While the world is riveted on Israel's heroic, necessary war against the evil Iranian regime, the U.S. must not undermine Ukraine. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. The next few weeks will profoundly affect the future security of the U.S. and
double check Trump's. Yeah, I saw Trump's post. It's fucking
the free
stupid.
world. The immediate question is whether the Israelis, with appropriate American support, will fully finish off Iran's nuclear program, including the elimination of the Mullah's ballistic missiles and missile launchers, as well as the regime's capacity to manufacture drones. Nothing less will do. Before the Israeli attacks, the Trump administration was making unsettling noises that it might agree to let Iran continue with a supposedly peaceful program of uranium enrichment, while the Ayatollahs pretended to wind down its nuclear bomb efforts. Thankfully, that now looks to be out the window.
Brother, this fucking wrinkly old piece of shit just cashed in his APAC check, and he's fucking beholden to make this video. Guaranteed, bro. Jesus Christ. One by one, every single mainstream media outlet goes, no, we gotta defend Israel. We gotta defend Israel. Brother, I swear to fucking God, if I ever get elected president, this shit would get me assassinated. The first day. Hand on the Bible still. As soon as I swear in, I'm the prezi. Who's got a mic? Someone hands me a mic and I'm gonna go, Benjamin Netanyahu, you are on your own, brother. From here on out, you are on your own. GG, GL, good luck. Day fucking one. And then before I even finish it, yurted right through the brain. I'm donezo. Got me. Before I even finish the fucking sentence. What else would you say? I'd be like, I'm gonna come!
Correspondent Trey Yanks, live on the ground in Tel Aviv. Hi, Trey.
Martha, good afternoon. Early this morning, Iran launched yet another barrage of ballistic missiles.
Vice president, I've talked about this before. My vice president is going to be somebody that like I really like I agree with them on a lot of things, but they can rein me in. Like they know I'm insane, so they rein me in. But the thing is, the jig is they have to wear a Spider-Man suit from the moment I announced my presidency or my candidacy, and nobody will ever know the identity of who it is. Ever. And I will solely refer to them as Spider-Man. And what was that? Okay.
Into Israel, targeting both residential areas and a hospital. Here's what it looked like when we arrived at that medical facility. Black smoke billows from the Soroka Hospital in southern Israel. An Iranian missile hit the campus this morning just after 7 a.m., sending shockwaves through the halls. Suddenly, we heard the explosion. Juma Abu Kush says, "We knew it's very close to us. Debris fell from the ceiling." Throughout the day, patients were evacuated to nearby hospitals as others were discharged if their condition warranted. First responders surveyed the damage as political leaders came by to voice their opposition to the bombing.
What do you need to get an AC-130 again?
Is a hospital.
What do you need to get an AC-130? A 12 kill streak or some shit?
This is an extreme war crime, and they will bear the consequences.
What's also important to note is that this is a place that there are both Israelis and Palestinians coming for care. There are Bedouins. When you walk around the compound of this hospital, there are still people in other areas. There are men wearing kippahs and women wearing hijabs.
Luigi.
And it's an example of how this part of Israel lives, how they live side by side.
Best news channel to watch? Ban JB. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally fucking with you. Thank you very much, JB. I appreciate you. I just wanted you to feel fear for a little bit.
And how there is a future.
Luigi, stop it, please.
Martha, one piece of good news. Fox News has just learned that a baby was born at the Soroka Medical Center this afternoon following that ballistic missile attack. The baby is said to be healthy. Back to you.
That is hopeful. Thank you very much, Trey. Trey Yinks in Tel Aviv.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
I'm not clicking anywhere, Sean Hannity, you fucking piece of shit. I've got to find the Sean Hannity clip of him earlier today saying that there's only two options. We either nuke them or we bomb them. Which are the same fucking thing, but one of them is conventional. It was earlier, but it was Hannity. It was Hannity. So here's Hannity. Was he on there earlier too?
You're President Trump and you're looking...
No, that's not it. That wasn't it. Has anybody else seen that clip? Has anybody else seen that fucking clip? Or is it just me? Maybe I could find it on my history on my phone. History. I don't know. I can't find it. Maybe they got rid of it because of what he said. Maybe they fucking pulled it. Maybe they pulled it right off the fucking website. Because I was watching that shit live, dog. I was watching that shit live.
With reaction, Fox News contributor, former Speaker.
Follows the logic. If you don't want, my hunch is that the army will side with the people.
We are told that Israel needs a 15-ton bunker buster bomb to destroy totally Fordow. But only America has those bombs. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joins me. General, welcome. Always good to have you on the show. My question is there any alternative to B-2s and bunker busters if you really want to knock out Fordow completely? Any alternative?
Yeah, certainly. There are alternatives. They're just not as good. I mean, Israel can certainly conduct a ground raid, secure the facility and then blow it up and try to get out of there without taking a lot of casualties. There's a lot of risk associated with that. They successfully, back in 2020, took down the power grid that supports Natanz, and a lot of the centrifuges as a result of that were destroyed.
Bro, me as soon as Maddie comes home from Michigan.
Took down the power grid. I mean, Israel can certainly conduct a ground raid, secure the facility and then blow it up and try to get out of there without taking a lot of casualties. There's a lot of risk associated with that. They successfully, back in 2020, took down the power grid that supports Natanz, and a lot of the centrifuges as a result of that were destroyed because the centrifuges got to keep spinning. You could also take down the ventilation system and deny that, obviously, ventilation to people working there. So
did he just say to asphyxiate everyone there? Yo, wait a minute. Did this guy literally just say to destroy the ventilation so that everyone there just, like, chokes to death on because of the lack of oxygen? We just lost 30 viewers. I don't give a fuck, dude. We lost so many viewers because it's, like, late. It's also a very slow news day. And also, I don't give a fuck about the goddamn viewer count. I never have given a fuck about how many people are here. I am going to get off.
There are alternatives, but none of them are quite as good as an airstrike with a bomb that has the capability to deal with the deepness of this target. 300 feet into the ground is quite formidable in trying to penetrate and achieve destruction. So it is the preferred option, but obviously, as you asked, there are other options. It's just more risk associated with those other options.
Sure. Other than missiles, does Iran have anything to retaliate against us with?
Oh yeah, chaotic. Yeah, bro, you're getting bro, you're going to the sandbox, dog. You're going to the sandbox.
Well, their air force is completely destroyed. And their air power infrastructure to support it, with fuel, munitions, and the things that define air power, besides airplanes, they have a very small navy, some frigates, some patrol boats. They're capable of mining the Straits of Hormuz. If we didn't take out that capability, or the Israelis take it out, they're pretty much reduced to missiles in terms of some form of retaliation. But believe me, if they're going to walk down that path, given the weakened position that they are in right now, Stuart, they know full well that the United States' response to something like that will be quite massive. And I think they recognize that their regime's survivability would truly be at risk if they take on the United States as a result of our conducting this limited strike, which is...
So this guy's argument is because it's only going to be one airstrike, it's just a little airstrike. If we do that, and if they respond in any way, we will fucking destroy them. That's this guy's... I hate the fact that we have these warmongering, fucking slobbering piglet men in charge.
It's kind of a one-off strike. This is Israeli operation. They have led it for the last 6-7 days, and we would be supporting them with a significant capability, to be sure. I don't want to minimize it, but it is one airstrike at that target. We're not part of the major campaign that Israel...
Brother, if you airstrike them, you are part of the campaign. If you bomb them, you are attacking them. What are we talking about?
Conducting here. And if Iran reacts to that, significantly trying to take down U.S. troops at our bases, our response will be quite consequential, and I would assume that they're very much aware of that. And they are in such a weakened position now, Stuart. I mean, the military leadership, as you know, is decapitated. So is the nuclear leadership. Airplanes have been flying over all the major cities and over Iran, the capital in Tehran, 5 days, 6 days, days and nights. I mean, the psychological and emotional impact of that is significant. The civilian leadership in its entirety is in hiding. Yeah. They're in bunkers. So I don't expect them to do much in terms of major retaliation, because I think they know the risk to them personally and the risk to their being able to survive would really be at stake as a regime.
About an hour from now, around about 11:30 Eastern this morning, President Trump is going to the Situation Room for an intel briefing. That suggests that action is imminent. What do you think?
All right. I think I'm going to take a break. I'm going to hop off, guys. I'll go live again if something crazy happens. But until then, I'm going to take a break ski. All right. Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Later, guys. Why can't I end the stream?